Hey guys, LG have just made the G2 official. You can see it right here. I've just literally come from watching the press conference, and I've got to say, in terms of pure hardware, this thing is amazing. It's going to be really hard to beat. I think the design is fantastic, and yeah, they've stuck all the high-end specs in this device that you could want. So it's definitely going to be a phone to beat. You can see it right here, and the whole front panel just looks like a big screen. You know, it's pretty much edge-to-edge display. Let's talk about the screen first. It's a 5.2-inch IPS Full HD display, and the way they were showing it off on the stage, it looked amazing. The color reproduction looked fantastic, really, really clear, and the sub-pixel arrangement is fantastic. It even beats the Super AMOLED HD displays, which is quite something. If we flick over to this page here, we can see the 1080p resolution right there. The IPS screen with a brightness rating of 450 nits, so it's pretty damn bright. And they included something called graphic RAM, and this is kind of confusing to explain, but the basic thing of it is it's going to reduce your power consumption up to 26% while displaying a still image. And LG claims that this is going to increase the expected overall battery life by up to about 10%. So that's pretty awesome, and you know, we always love bigger batteries and better battery life, so it's a welcome upgrade. We'll just flick back to here and check out some of the other specs. And like I said, they packed everything in here. We'll just check out the processor. It's the Snapdragon 800 at 2.26 gigahertz. That's a quad-core processor, and that's coupled with the Adreno 330 GPU. That combination of a system on a chip is pretty spectacular. It's going to absolutely fly. The benchmarks will be ridiculous. It's just amazing. So yeah, you can see the display here, 5.2-inch Full HD IPS, 423 ppi, available in 32 gigabytes and 16 gigabytes. The RAM here, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 800 megahertz, and it's DDR3. That's a faster RAM that you get in most phones that are normally DDR2. So again, it's just going to help with performance and stuff like that. They've also done some pretty amazing things with the camera. And actually, before I talk about the camera, I'll talk about the design, the back of the design here. I flicked to this quickly. Check out what they've done with the back. Now, you can see the camera interface right here. Now, these are volume and power buttons. There are no buttons on the side here, guys. So they've moved the whole thing over to the back. And the reason why, and this is what they explained, I'm just using my Nexus here to demonstrate this. Everyone apparently holds their phone like this, with your finger naturally resting on the back. And I've got to say, when I do hold my phone up to my head, that is how I hold it. So, you know, that's what they've done. They've put the volume rockers there and the power button at the back as well, so you can control it while having your finger and hand in a natural position. So that's kind of interesting. We'll have to see how that actually feels in the hand. I don't know. It'll probably be a little bit odd at first, but then it might actually feel quite nice. So we'll find out. Now, talking about that camera, it's a rear 13 megapixel camera with OIS. This means optical image stabilization. And this is actually kind of a big deal, because this is the first smartphone to have optical image stabilization with such a big megapixel camera. They normally have 4 megapixels or 8 megapixels. This has 13. So the camera is going to be pretty spectacular. They said it has excellent low light. You know, basically what this optical image stabilization does is when you're kind of holding it and your hand might shake or something, it stabilizes that image and it won't blur and stuff like that. Now, moving on, they've also managed to fit a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and that is a pretty beefy battery. This thing should last. Obviously, it's got that massive 5.2-inch display with this beast of a processor, but that is quite a big battery. And yeah, like I said, with that screen and that whole 10% thing, this thing should get you through a day. We'll have to wait and see. Operating system, slight disappointment there, but it doesn't really matter too much. Android 4.2.2, I'm sure we'll get an upgrade. You've got your dimensions here. You can see it's 8.9 millimeters thick. It comes in black and white as well. Now, the hardware I thought was absolutely amazing on this device. Where I felt a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest, was the software. I thought the software didn't really look that much. It just didn't really kind of grab me and say, this is great. Whereas the stuff on the Moto X I really thought was really cool. You know, that was stuff that we needed. This stuff that they introduced here, like Answer Me, where you just kind of grab your phone and put it up to your head and it answers the call, I'm not that interested in that and stuff like that. I think that'll just be annoying. Maybe it's in your pocket and it'll answer by itself, or just a slight shake of the hand and it'll answer. I don't know. The UI and stuff like that didn't seem all that interesting to me. But hey, you know, we might be able to just shove a custom ROM or something on here. But these specs are pretty damn amazing. In terms of availability, They did say it was going to come worldwide to all the US carriers. I think it's coming to the UK on 3. They didn't mention price, but with these sort of specs, it's going to be top end of the price bracket. So take that into account. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'll just show you the picture again. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Are you guys going to get one? Peace out.